Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, the #1 YouTube channel for you to level up your communication skills. Learn the art of public speaking, social skills, and personal branding to take your message to the world. For today's episode, we're going to be entering the world of social skills, and I'm going to be talking about a social sin. You remember in high school, there was that one teacher that was like, look, I'm not going to be dorky like all the other teachers out there. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be cool and I'm going to get my students to like me. And the more that they like me, the easier my job is going to be. Everything's going to work out so perfectly. So what did this teacher do? This teacher started to hang out with their students and started to understand their lingo. Now what did the teacher do next? The teacher began to use their lingo to be like them, to be cool. But let's be real though. Is that what happened? No. The exact opposite happened. Rather than being cool, he was regarded as corny. So why did this occur? Why did this social phenomenon occur? It's because the social world is not like school. In school, the more that you try to do something, the better that you get at it, right? But in the real world, in the social skills world, the more that you try to do something, it doesn't necessarily mean that it'll actually happen. For example, when you try to be liked, a lot of the times, that's not what happens. You ever had that one person who said all the right things, did all the right things, but once they left the interaction, you were like, I don't know why, I have no clue why, but something about that person was weird. This happened a few times, right? And if you can't think of one time that happened, unfortunately, my friend, you are that person. So where does neediness come from? Well, neediness is not something that's just isolated. More often than not, if you consider yourself a needy person, or if you know people that are needy, they're needy in a lot of different interactions. And once you start gathering all that data, you start seeing patterns. Whenever there's patterns involved, you have to understand that there's an underlying reason for those patterns. More often than not, there are underlying reasons for those patterns. And in this case, it's due to distorted beliefs. Yep, neediness is not just an act, but more so, it stemmed from a mindset. It stemmed from your belief, fam. And the worse off that your belief is regarding how the social world works, how the real world works, the more needy that you become. No, Armani, how do I know which belief it is? I can tell it for you. I can literally tell you where you are wrong. If you consider yourself needy, I guarantee you this is exactly the reason why. You have a scarcity mindset towards people and you have an abundance mentality towards time. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. Let's break it both down. When you have a scarcity mentality towards people, you have to understand that you're putting a lot more pressure on yourself. A part of you starts thinking, dang, there's not that many people in this world, so every single interaction means much more. You start treating it like a life or death kind of situation. And when you start doing that, you start putting so much pressure on yourself that your mannerisms becomes a little bit more distorted. Actually, scratch that, becomes very distorted. Something about you is coming off very wrong, and it's because you're spending way too much time in your head. That's the first part. The second part, you have an abundance mentality towards time. In your mindset, you think you have all the time in the world. So even if someone is disrespecting you, someone is wasting your time over and over again, you keep forgiving over and over again. Why? Because you have an abundance mentality towards time. You think, look, they could waste my time. I have all of this resource already. That's how you start thinking. And when you start combining these two kinds of mindsets, it forms a very needy individual. That's it. And you may be wondering, how do I reverse this? You reverse this by switching both of the paradigms to the exact polar opposite. You need to have an abundance mentality towards people, and you need to have a scarcity mentality towards time. How does this work? Well, when you have an abundance mentality towards people, you start understanding, there are over 7 billion people on this planet. I don't need to worry about every single interaction that much. And you now start taking the pressure off of yourself. You start feeling more calm, more relaxed. And the more relaxed that you become, the more your authentic personality shines. Now, this doesn't mean that you should go off and be an asshole and be like, yo, Armani said I have all the interactions in the world. Don't do that. But more so, understand that there are a lot of different people on this planet, 7 billion plus of them, and that every interaction isn't that important in the grand scheme of things in terms of your likability. So just be yourself, okay? Just be yourself, because every single interaction comes another one. Abundance mentality towards people. Remember that. Now the next part is you need to have a scarcity mentality towards time. Now when you start adopting a scarcity mentality towards time, you start understanding, look, 1 second lost is 1 second never returned again. And when you can understand that core principle alone, your whole life changes in many ways. Actually, you start kicking people out of your life because you start seeing how many people have wasted your time thus far. And now you start realizing, they ain't gonna waste my time no more, because this resource is pretty damn precious. So abundance mentality towards people and a scarcity mindset towards time. This combination allows you to be bold, allows you to be a winner. But understand that this paradigm shift is not meant for a loser. So if you have nothing going for you, if you're not working on any projects, zero hobbies, if you are just a guy that consumes all the time, then you can't have this mentality. You haven't earned this paradigm. You need to be a person of value. You just need to be. If you don't know where to get started, Level Up Mentality will provide a lot of the blueprints needed to get there. I'll drop a link in the description box right on below. But you gotta level up, fam. The more you start leveling up, this change in paradigm just happens. Because as you level up, you start challenging yourself with new tasks, new projects, new business ventures. Now you start going from interaction to interaction to interaction. You start understanding that every interaction is unique, but there are plenty of them in this world. And at this point, as you keep leveling up, you start understanding how important your time is. You start feeling a little guilty for all the time you wasted in the past, but luckily, all those moments in the past brought you to this exact moment to make that realization. So you gotta level up. That's really the core of it all. And once you start leveling up, you will start having an abundance mentality towards people and a scarcity mentality towards time, and your neediness will melt away. This is a framework that you can use for anything that really causes you anxiety. Really ask yourself how you're viewing it, and then make the changes as needed. But neediness will not do. Neediness will make people dislike you. It'll take away social opportunities, business opportunities, and so much more. Cut it out ASAP. Melt it away. I give you the keys. Now all you gotta do is go out there and apply them. If this video helps you today, make sure you drop a like button for me right on below, and you shared this video on your social media of choice. Let's melt away neediness for good. Thank you, my friend, for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, and I'll catch you next time.